Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the Chinese Tier 6 Premium Light Tank, the Type 64. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Type 64, this is a tank that you can actually get in this season pass at like level 25, is it? Or level 50? One of the two. You can get it down. You can get it in the season pass anyway. And the Type 64, it's a pretty decent little premium light tank. It's got the 76mm gun from the Shermans, so it's got 128 penetration on the standard AP with 177 on the APCR, which is definitely very limiting, especially when you see tier 6s. Sorry, not, you always see tier 6s. But when you see tier 8s, it's limiting in that regard because 128 pen on the standard AP really does struggle. 177 APCR pen, you can pen stuff with it, but when you're facing some of the heavily armoured tanks at tier 8, then you really do struggle to pen stuff and it's a bit of a pain. But you do have 390 meters view range on this tank, which is fantastic. Really helps you to go spotting in it as you are a light tank. You've got up to 499 meters view range with the build that I've got, which is absolutely amazing. It means you absolutely outspot everything at tier 6. And that means that you can also abuse the really good camo with the fantastic view range and really dump on some of the tier 5s and 6s that are really blind as well. So it's really nice for that at tier 6. And even then you can do that against tier 7s and some of the tier 8s as well, which is definitely very nice. And then with the still concealment being at 339 base, but you can get it down to about 275. The camo is very nice. You go at 72 kilometers an hour, which is fabulous. It's really good speed. And then the gun handling really isn't too bad either. You've got 0.4 base, which, if we're honest, 0.4 base is pretty horrible. But you get that down to 0.32 accuracy, and your accuracy during rotation is 0.61, and during movement is 1.98 with the build I've got, which it really isn't too bad. And with the 1.93 second aim time, which is 2.1 base, the gun aims in very quickly, which means the gun handling on this tank is absolutely fantastic. Add to that, you've got 10 degrees gun depression. That means you can be really flexible on a ridgeline, and you can just make some positions absolutely sing with this tank. It's a really absolutely fabulous tank, the Type 64. It's a very good tier 6 light tank, and you can have an absolute ball in it just because of the fact that it's got really good speed, really good camo, the really good gun handling. The only real downside to the old Type 64 is the fact that its penetration is a little bit sad, but that's what happens with light tanks generally. And you also get this cool pin-up skin as well that you can get with it, which makes the tank look pretty damn cool as well. And the googly eyes look sick. So, what do I run in terms of a crew on the old Type 64? Well, in terms of a crew, I run a pretty standard light tank crew. I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Camouflage Expertise, Muffled Shot, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun. I run the 3 gun perks to make sure that this gun is as good as it humanly can be, because like I say, it does have base 0.4 accuracy, which is not great, so I want to make sure that it is as good as it humanly can be, like I say. Camouflage Expertise and Muffled Shot to make sure that the camo is as good as it can be. You get that 10% extra buff to the camo, making it so that you can stay more stealthy, and then the reduction in firing on, well, the reduction in the effect of firing on your camouflage through Muffled Shot, and then the other perks are what you generally take on every tank in World War II. And in terms of equipment, I run the camo net, the gun stabilizer, and optics. Optics to be able to spot for myself as a light tank is really nice to be able to do that. The gun stabilizer to make sure that this gun is really good at firing on the move and stuff like that, so I can hit shots like we're doing on this Bishop. The camo net to make sure that the camo is beautifully filthy, because then you can have that absolutely fabulous camo that you do get on this Type 64. I don't run the advanced loader, because without the advanced loader, you're seeing we've got a really fast reload already at 2.4 seconds with the food boost, which is 2.67 without the gun rammer. So I decided, you know what, if I'm not going to take the advanced loader, because that way I can make everything else about the tank better, and I can still use the already fantastic reload that this tank gets to good effect, and I can hit more shots with having the gun stabilizer. You can also run the traction system if you wanted to instead of the gun stabilizer, if you feel the gun handling's good enough without the gun stabilizer, because that will get you up to 79 kilometers an hour, is it? Quick maths is hard, but it's completely down to you and how you want to kit out the tank. And in this first game on Thiepval Ridge, you've just seen an absolutely chaotic scene of a moment that we've just had there. We're up to 2.8k damage with 1200 assistance, 4 kills. Can we get the kill on the artillery? Which we do. We're now hunting the T-150 for the top gun. Can we secure that top gun? That would be glorious. Yeah, you just saw an absolutely chaotic moment we just had there. where they were just run and gun. Run and gun is what we had to do, and that is what the Type 64 is pretty good at, is that run and gun playstyle, because you're pretty damn quick. You obviously got really good gun handling, and you can just have a whale of a time with it. So we get a shot to the side of the T-150's turret, get another shot to the side there. Can we get the top gun? Aim for the side of his turret yet again, and the shot flies true, finishes him off, and we finish the game with the epic victory. 6 kills, 3.2k damage, 1356 assistance, ace tanker, top gun, the high caliber, the scout medal for 2.2k base XP. A pretty damn nice game there for the Type 64 in a very tier 6 matchup. And now we're on to the second replay. And the second replay here is on this map, which is... It's right there in the left-hand side of the screen, you moron. Nomini nom. It's nomini nom. So on No Monhan, what we're going to do is go to the position around D4, C4, because if we go there onto that ridge line, we can spot the guys that do sit at E2, E1, and we can also spot the guys that may sit at FE3. And doing that, if we've got enough people that sit back at BC7, or just come with us generally and go sit at A3-4, we can spot up the people that are on those ridge lines for our team, and thus we'll be able to get a buck ton of assistance while also farming away, because you can use the ridge lines with the fantastic 10 degrees of gun depression this tank gets and have a good time. So we're going to crest this ridge and see if we can find anyone. Usually you tend to find someone by the time you get above this second ridge, or you just got to sit and wait somewhere. So my goal was always to get to this rock here, so that I could spot that ridge across there, and if I did spot anyone, I could either fire at them or I could pull back and get safe. But it's a patience game. I know I'm a really fast tank in a tier 6 matchup where there's a fair few tanks that are a little bit slow, so we just got to have a bit of patience. But we're not seeing anything at this point. As we do start to move, we find that the ELC AMX BIS is coming round the corner. It's like, hello, Mr. ELC. We get one shot into him because we missed the other one. Then we take a shot from behind. It's like, hang on a minute. What are these people doing? Like, I did not expect them to be where they were. There's a lot of people in that dip down there, and that is unorthodox move, but I suppose we are at tier 5, 6 where anything can happen, you know, because it's just what happens. Random stuff that you sit there going, huh? What? Okie dokies. We take another hit in the back, though, from the ELC, who's currently next to our team, so we get a shot RBRT into him, which tracks him in the place, and we finish him off with the second RBRT. Now we've got the Panzer III-4 above us, which I thought for a second he was full sending towards us, which would not have been a good time. And we are spotting these guys for my team, but my team aren't in the best of positions to be able to actually shoot any of these people, and their team is still sat down there in that little space at G4, and it's like, oh, this is awkward. If that T-34-85 decided he wanted to come for us, that would be not a good time. But we've got that VK-3001H spotted, so we get 2 shots into him, and then pull back because the T-34-85 was coming after us. Now there's a Churchill 1 that's come around the corner. It's like, what's going on? So we get a shot into the Churchill 1. He gets KV2'd. The Panzer III-4, thankfully for me, gets tracked in a very awkward spot. And we're just keeping this guy tracked. Now the T-34-85 is coming for us. We repair so we can dodge his ram. We get a shot into his back end. And now I've just got to try and get myself moving so I'm not going to get shot. This T-34-85 tried to come after us and get shot into us. And now he's just driving. Yeah, if you know what happened there, I would like you to tell me, because I have no idea. That T-34-85 just charged down and then went, oh, it's fine, you can kill me now. And thus we did. We take a blind shot. We took a speculative blind shot down into the alley there, right? And we've got another one as well. Because I thought, well, I wonder if there's anything still sat down there. And in fact, there was. And we got 2 blind shots there, which is absolutely beautiful. And we're up to 1908 damage with 1092 assistance. The one thing you've got to be careful with the Type 64 is something that does happen in these types of games, is that ammo. Ammo is a real concern for this tank. It doesn't have much ammo whatsoever. In fact, it only has 45 rounds, which is really not enough for a Type 64. So one thing that I really do hope they buff is giving it more rounds of ammunition, because it just doesn't have enough for some of the fights. So you've got to really be careful sometimes when taking speculative blind shots, because you will end up running out of ammunition at some point if you're not careful. So we take as I say that about be careful about taking speculative blind shots, I take 2 speculative blind shots back down there again to see if we hit anyone, but we don't find anyone. The artillery is currently looking at us, which makes me a bit panicked. And our team is still sat at a 4. They're not really moved. The Churchill 1 is coming over, and with the Churchill 1, we can go through his turret front with our premium ammunition. The standard ammunition is not a guarantee, but we could. And we're just being very, very careful right here against this guy. Because, again, I don't want to take too many hits. And it looks like he's got the small gun, which means he will have the gun depression over the side of the tank. So we get a shot straight through his turret front. And this is where the snappy, shotty aim is going to come in handy, because we try and get a shot through his turret front, but again, he just moves forward, which I didn't expect. We put a shot straight through his turret front again, and this is just becomes the ridgeline brawl of take the speculative shot and fall back as quickly as possible. We see the artillery shot coming in. Thankfully, it misses. We go for the shot through his turret again, and we're just about going through. If we're firing AP, there's every chance that that bounces, but with the APCR on this tank for 177, we are going through. The artillery gets shot at us, and again, you can see how slow that artillery shell is. We know when it's coming, but he ends up only splashing us. We get another shot through his turret, 2 shots through the turret. Can we get a third? We've only taken 1 hit for these 2 shots. We get another one in. He can't kill us with another shot. The artillery fires. But with that gun that he's got, he can't actually kill us with 1 more shot. So I can still risk it, and I can kill him with 1 more shot. So I know that I could take the hit, which we do, and we shut down the Churchill 1. Now there's the buggy. Don't blame it on the buggy right in front of us, who we are lighting up, and I'm hoping my team will hit him. We've only got 12 rounds of ammunition left. This is going to be a bit awkward if we end up having to use more than what we've got. The buggy's dropped down, but he's being shot at by the heavy tank and the other heavy tank. Well, both heavy tanks, really, that are in the open. But the buggy gets shut down by the KV2, who says, "None of that, sir. We don't blame it on the buggy round here." And he gets rid of him. So we're on to 3 tanks left on the enemy team, which is a heavy tank, medium tank, and an artillery. We want that pesky artillery for the amount of times he's tried to shoot us. We find the heavy tank here, the VK3601H. So we're just going to line up a shot at the back of his turret. And if we just aimed a split second longer, we would have killed it there. But we didn't, because the shot, when RNG said no. And unfortunately, we missed. Then we bounced off the front of his turret with our AP round, because it wasn't really going to go in. And the Cromwell gets shut down by the T67 after the VK got done by the KV2. So now there's just the artillery left. We want to go after this guy, get rid of it, and, you know, teach him a lesson for trying to be pesky and shooting us. There's only really 1 place he could possibly be, which is down here. There we go. We find the griller, which we get a nice shot into. He's still sitting still, which it looks like he's just given up. Either that or he was waiting to try and shotgun the 2 heavy tanks. And we get the kill on the Tier 5 German artillery. We finished the game with a victory. 4 kills, 2.9 thousand damage with 1,700 assistance. The first class, the Scout Medal, the high caliber. 2.1, nearly 2.2k base, and that's a first class. That's this tank in a nutshell. It's a very, very good tank. It does what it does. And we're on to the 3rd and final replay of the video, and we're going to have a damn nice game here on Prokhorovka. We're on Prok, the light tank map, which is always a good time to play. And what I'm thinking of doing is either going and sitting in the bush at G1. That way I can spot the people progressing up the 1-2 line, or I'm going to go sit in the aggressive enemy team bush at E1. Now, I could do that very aggressively, and if I do get to the bush at E1, I will be able to spot a lot of their tanks as they go up the 1-2 line. It's very aggressive, though, and it doesn't work all that often, because if people do what the T67 do, and that is go to the bush, it's a likelihood that you'll just end up getting spotted, and you are very close to the enemy team at that point, and they tend to go kablapo. But now, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, you know what, I might just move up and see if I can get to that bush, because they are progressing up this 1 line, but maybe I can be aggressive, be cheeky, take the bush, and stay unspotted. But sadly, we do end up getting spotted there, which I was a little bit sad about, and I think that's because I drove through the bush a little bit too far, which meant that I basically exposed myself. I wasn't in the bush anymore, I wasn't using the foliage anymore, and therefore my camera rating dipped, and that VK3001P was close enough to see me. But we are spotting him up, and we get lucky that we didn't get shut down there, but we're going to go back round for more. Because that's the way we play. We're going to go back around for more, so that we can get some more tasty assistance. So the VK3001P is taking hits, but he's not dead yet. We're going to get into the bush yet again, and I really was hoping that I'd be able to get into that bush and with the VK3001P being a little bit lower, maybe he wouldn't see me, but we did get spotted. But we are spotting quite a few of their team down at C2. And yet again, I'm just making sure, I'm not bothered about what's going off behind me. I'm just making sure I'm not crashing into things and I'm being able to run away and conserve my hit points. But we're cheeky, yet again. We're going for the bush. Third time's the charm, right? Maybe we'll be able to actually sit in the bush this time. That would be quite handy without getting spotted. There's the T67, and it's just like this guy needs to die because he's going up to the bush himself. We're keeping him lit up, and I have RBRT'd onto him. We're going to make sure that that shell goes somewhere near him, but sadly the shell misses. Bit of airtime, because why not? Great driving me. Obviously, I'm Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's what I was going for. We get a free aim shot into the T67. I decide, okay, this T67's going down. We get another shot into him there, and he's actually driven onto our side of the map, which is just death for that guy. Now we're going after the wheelie boy, but unfortunately we missed the shot. But we are spotting him up. We're actually up to 2,000 assistance right now with 654 damage. And now with the T67 dead, I'm thinking maybe I can take that bush. Fourth time's the charm. Fourth time is the charm. Maybe I could take that bush this time. And we can actually spot all those juicy tank destroyers and light tanks and stuff, the medium tanks that were sat back there at BC2. Maybe we're actually successful this time, but we do actually have a medium tank that's charging that way, and he's found the ARL. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to fire from behind concealment. There is nothing on my right-hand side that can see me, so we're going to use the bushes to have the concealment to start farming these tank destroyers and medium tanks. That ARL fires a very good blind fire, and actually we get very lucky that he doesn't actually pen us, he only tracked us, but we shut him down. Now we're getting shots into the T-34-85 that's spotted, who then gets shut down as well. We've got shots from up here at the VK3001P, so we're just going to boost our reload with food, which makes our gun handling better as well. Sadly we miss, but we do get the kill on the VK. So we're going to charge ahead in front of this Panzer 4H, or in front of our team generally, and see if we can find anyone that is sitting on the train tracks at A6. I mean, we've just seen shells fly from over there, so maybe we will actually find something, and thus our team will give us, hopefully, give us assistance, maybe? But we just got to try and find it. We can see the shells that were flying towards my teammates, right? And there we go. We find the Churchill 7. He gets spotted. We get a nice shot into his side. Again, our camo is that good that he doesn't see us, and obviously we're firing through the trees. But he gets away, sadly, before our team can get any shots into them. So what I'm going to do now is put myself in a position where I can try and farm the hill, because we've been watching the map, and they have taken the hill, but they've made the mistake. They've taken the hill, and they've stayed on it, which, when they're spotted, makes them an absolute free farm. So we're just going to make that KV-1 pay for that mistake, and we get the... Oh, we don't quite get the kill on the KV-1. He gets shut down just as we fire. Now going for shots into the British Bulldog, which actually hit the Panzer 3-4 or whatever it was over there. Still getting some shots into the British Bulldog, who is unspotted, but we're just tracking where he would be driving, and we get a few more shots in. We actually re-spot him as well, and we get another shot in cheekily into his side, which is glorious. But now we're going to use this ridge line to try and shoot the light tank that's just down here, maybe spot the guy or shoot the guy that's on the train tracks on our left, but we find the Panzer 3-4, but no, okay, you know what, let's just go for the shots into the Churchill 7, which we get one shot into, then two, which bounces, but the British Bulldog is actually looking at us, or is he the one looking at us? He's not the one looking at us, but we do get a nice shot straight through his side. We have to be careful with our ammunition here as well, by the way, because we've only got 11 rounds left, so we do have to make every shot count. We get one shot into the back drive wheel of the Panzer 3-4, tracks him in place, and oh, we can't quite get the shot to kill him, but we've now got shots into the lower plate of the Churchill 7, which we're just making sure to get straight in, which he gets shut down. Now we've got the British Bulldog driving out in front of us. That shot misses, but hopefully we get the kill on this guy, maybe? There we go, we finally get the kill. How many people did we shoot just as they died in this game? We finished the game with a really nice total there for the Type 64 on Prokhorovka. Finished with 5 kills, 3.2k damage, 2.2k assistance. The ace tanker, the high caliber, with 2.2k base XP. Pretty damn nice game there for the Type 64, a tank that you've been able to get in this current season pass, and it's just a damn fun little tier 6 light tank. It's up there with the Rover for how fun it is and how pretty damn nice and good it is as well. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
Great success!